And we're back with a brand new video. This one's going to be a bit different. It's actually a sales call. Sorry, not a sales call. This is just a regular call that I had with Josh Brown, who's the co-owner of MorningSide AI, which is this software development company. And I mean, they're also the creators like this entire AI automation agency space. So it was really cool to just get some one-on-one time, try to give back a little bit to the community that's given me so much. And we talk about a little bit of our past, what we've been up to, how we even got started in this whole space, some of the challenges that we had, as well as how we managed to sign 5 clients actually in the last 45 to 60 days. And actually, as I'm recording this, we just got off client number 6, or a sales call of client number 6. So that's really, really fantastic. I also talk about a lot of the realizations we made along the way. And towards the end, I actually speak about what I personally believe to be the single biggest barrier that stops people from growing as fast as they otherwise would be. So I highly encourage you to watch it all the way through. If you found anything of value, please drop it in the comments. I'm sure it could help other people as well. Or if you have any personal experiences on this topic, feel free to share them. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy.
Fantastic. All right. I'm here with the man himself. Taha, I know obviously you've been in the community, I think right from the get-go, right? Like you got in right on the first plan, on that $59 plan. I remember speaking.
Oh yeah, wouldn't miss it. Well, when you see something like that, I knew it was only going to get more expensive, so like I might as well just get in as early as I can, right?
Fantastic. How did you come across Liam? When did you come across Liam? How did you sort of start to get into the whole space?
Oh, I remember. You know what's funny? I remember the exact moment it happened. It was on a Saturday morning back in June. I think I was watching one of the videos called "Why AI is going to be the next big thing" or something like that. Why I'm all in. And he made this super interesting comment, which was like, when the internet came around, companies made a lot of money because they helped businesses integrate the internet or make websites. When iPhones came out, a bunch of companies made money integrating applications. Same thing with social media, and now the same thing, which is AI.
Exactly. And when he wrote that, I think he wrote it first of all as a tweet. And I remember we were talking about sort of this idea of an AA model. And we were really trying to figure out the best way to put it in a concise way, obviously, that people could really understand, like, hey, this is how big this opportunity is. And if you look back into history, it's been done time and time again. And when he showed me that tweet and put it that way, I was like, Jesus, this is like such a good way to put it. So yeah, that's really interesting. And then you started to sort of binge his videos a little bit after that.
Yeah. I mean, we were already doing marketing, but after that, it just clicked, the whole AI thing.
Fantastic. And that's what I want to get into a little bit in terms of your experience, your expertise. I know you've got expertise, I believe, in marketing, like you just said, sales, development. You want us to just give us a rundown, obviously, on what you had up your sleeve before you got into this game.
How far back do you want to go?
Go back as far as you want, as far as relevant.
Sure. Probably the biggest thing we were doing, I was doing FBA back in right before COVID, right? I was selling a lot of workout equipment, and that was doing really, really well, actually. I think we had one of the fastest growing stores in Canada for that. I think our best week, we were clearing maybe $80,000. That was because all the gyms closed down, right? So we were doing really, really well. But we ran out of stock, and then due to a couple of my bad decisions, that sort of all went to flames. Then had sort of laid low for about a year or two. Things calmed down. Got back into the marketing game, social SMMA, tried to do e-commerce, then got into the roofing game. Okay. And did that about a year ago, been doing it ever since. And then around 3 months back, whenever we heard about this AI thing, we just incorporated it with like what we already knew, which was roofing and marketing, and we just added AI into it.
Fantastic, fantastic. And so you incorporated it into essentially into an original business. What were the challenges, I guess, of obviously bringing a new offer like AI to the table?
The biggest challenge, at least for us, has been demonstrating the value and also trying to make people understand that this is a tool like anything else. A lot of people, you reach out to them, like either they love it and you really want to get into it, or they hate it, they think it's demonic. And I mean, I get all sorts of emails, right? The hard part, especially in the beginning, is trying to show people the benefits of it and that result in either time saved or money made. Trying to bridge that gap.
For sure. And are you pitching this as, on obviously the cold outreach side, are you pitching this purely as a AI offer, or are you combining it with marketing every single time, or with what you're doing on the roofing side every single time?
I tried to incorporate both marketing and AI in the beginning, but then I realized that there's a better market, at least for our company, for pure AI services, meaning how can I create AI employees, which is what we're trying to go for, right? Just let's decrease that, not only headache, but let's decrease the fees associated with running companies, especially big ones.
Sure.
And even if we can make a tiny difference, even just 1%, that's huge savings for them. So that's where we're trying to go.
And walk me through that deliverable process a little bit in terms of identifying sort of, I guess you could call it the hero deliverable, right? And what that journeys look like. Because I know at the start, obviously, you sort of come up with ideas yourself, and then clients obviously start to give you potential ideas, and you start to run with those, and you sort of start to optimize your deliverable over time. So how's that process been for you?
You know what? It's actually one of the coaches in the AAA accelerator that told me this, because I was struggling with this question for a long time. And it was, what am I trying to sell and why do my customers need it? And I was talking to, I believe it was Emmanuel. And he told me this, like, why do your customers need this product? And I could not come up with a good answer. He's like, well, there's a problem. You don't even know what it is that you're selling or why they should care about it. So that sort of gave me a third perspective. And we went back to the drawing board. And what we realized is, look, we can't just sell this to anybody. You have to figure out who your ideal customer is and what problem do you solve for them exactly. Just having that vision, I attribute that sentence to the last two clients that we just signed last week, because I knew exactly who it is I was trying to target and what problem we were solving for them.
Exactly. Fantastic. And then when would you say you started AAA technically? When did you start to offer these AI services, especially combined obviously with the marketing as well?
Probably a month and a half, 2 months, maybe.
Month and a half,
like that.
And what's been the journey like since then? What sort of clients have you signed? How many clients have you signed? And what's been, I think after that, probably the most valuable realization that you've found?
Purely from AAA, meaning people that we didn't know beforehand. Now I think we're on number 4 or 5, which keep in mind, that took me basically a year before that to get to that number. So having something that's new helps a lot. And from those, I know we don't have much time, but I really want to show you this, because this is this is really what like sort of makes it click for me. Bear with me 1 second. I had a call with a client of ours, and it wasn't too long.
Yeah, especially for the one, I don't know if you saw it, but the one was an existing customer. I actually talked to him, and he had no idea he was talking to an AI. There's no way.
That comment right there, he had no idea he was talking to an AI.
Yeah.
I can sell that. The fact that he understood that, okay, this can actually replace some of the people. He even told me afterwards, look, like now I can hold this over my employees and be like, look, either get with the program or like these things are coming for you. I can sell that. Exactly. So that's been the big realization, and that tying back to my point, it's been a journey. It's been quite a journey.
Fantastic. And then in terms on the outreach side, what's that been like for you? Are you going mass emails? Are you going down the paid traffic route? What's been the strategy there and some realizations that have taken place there?
Sure. For us, the best way for email so far has been cold email. That's been what it's been working about so far. And it has its ups and its pros and cons, obviously. Scalability, volume, you don't have to think about it, it's automated. So for us, cold email has been what's served us so far. Obviously, we want to get into different sort of types of outreach, from inbound to cold to paid ads, but that's still in the pipeline, still ways to go before that.
Okay, fantastic. Well, 4 to 5 clients, a month and a half. I know, obviously, before we got onto this, you said a really good line, which was, you're in the game of learning at the moment, not in the game of making money, or something along the lines.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I know this might get a bit off topic, but I see so many people who get so obsessed with this idea of don't undervalue yourself. You have to get paid. The reality is nobody cares about your self-defined value. You can't sell, well, look, I deserve to get paid. If you have proof, then sure. But if you're just getting started, try to leave your ego, or at least that's what I had to do, right? I had to leave my ego out of the way and just look, let's eat the bugs, right? Like, let's take the low-paying jobs, let's get some results, let's over-deliver, let's get some testimonials. Then you can start selling those big ticket items. But in the beginning, it's really, like you said, we're in the phase of learning, not earning. The money will come eventually.
Exactly. And I think that's a hard part of any entrepreneur, right? Is obviously coming in and, hey, you might have had a very successful job. You might have been an engineer before, or whatever it is, and you might have been on 150K, and coming in and obviously saying, hey, now I'm going to get paid potentially $0 an hour to obviously start this new gig, which I think is going to be the way for me to leave my corporate job. That's a really hard concept for a lot of people to come to, a lot of people to wrap their heads around. But I think, as you said, and we've even seen it at MorningSide, right? Like, we started off serving, I think the first month we were serving like 2K, 3K chatbots. And you know what, now we're selling the same things for 20 grand. And, you know, we've also got huge clients that we're signing. So I think obviously you got to figure out at the start, and you got to realize at the start that, as you said, you're going to have to put your ego to the side. You're going to have to reduce what you're willing to take on, what you're willing to be paid, provide immense value. And then at some point, you're going to get rewarded, you know, for even more than you're actually doing, which I think is a really interesting concept. So fantastic job. I really appreciate how engaged you've been in the community as well. I know we've had some fantastic chats in there. I know you're always in there helping other people out and whatnot. So I really appreciate that. A month and a half, I'm excited to see what the progress is going to be in the next sort of 6 months. Keep us updated. And I appreciate you jumping on this call with me.
Of course, man. I'm really looking forward to what you guys do next. Bring it on.